Start now.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone.
सर सर गुड आफ्टरनून जी सबको.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Satluj Academy of Pediatrics 2026, we are celebrating Medico Legal Day under the heading of Medico Legal Negligence, ABCD of Medical Negligence. The speaker of the day is eminent faculty, Dr. Satish Tiwari, sir. Now I hand over mic to Dr. Gursharan Singh Naran, President SAPA 2026, for formal welcome address and start of the meeting. Over to sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome our national. Hello.
Hello, Hanji sir. You are audible, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of SAPA President, I welcome Dr. Satish Sharma, sir, our national chairperson, medical legal chapter of IAP. Dr. Hemant Gongolia, sir, Secretary Medical Legal Chapter of IAP. Dr. Paramjit Man, our chairperson, Medical Legal Chapter Punjab. Dr. Andhava, sir, our guest of honor, and our speaker, Dr. Satish, sir. We all know. Hello.
Hanji sir, you are audible. Please continue.
As we all know that Medical Legal Protection Day reminds us that clinical excellence alone is not enough. We must also practice medicine with legal awareness, ethical responsibility, and professional accountability. Proper documentation is the defense in any medical legal case. We should follow the standard guidelines and keep professional indemnity insurance for our protection also. Now I invite Dr. Satish Sharma sir to give some points on this very important topic.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset,
सर
good afternoon, Sunil. Yeah,
कैसे सर आप?
that is fine, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I congratulate Punjab State Branch of Indian Academy of Pediatrics for planning this webinar to celebrate Medical Protection Day. Our learned speaker, Professor Dr. Satish Tiwari, sir, State President Dr. Gursharan Naran,
Hello.
Secretary Dr. Seema, Dr. Mandeep,
Hanji.
our HSG General Secretary of Medical Chapter, Dr. Hemant Gangolia,
National
Dr.
Secretary.
Raghawa, the past President of Punjab State Branch,
Okay.
Dr. Paramjit Singh Man is currently the Medical Chapter of Punjab Chairperson, Dr. V.K. Goyal, our past President of Medical Chapter, Dr. Sunil and all other senior, Dr. Monica and all other senior delegates who are present here. You know, medical legal litigation are increasing day by day. And who is responsible for this? Whether the media, the public, the patients, the doctor, or the government. Everyone blame each other, but still we find they rise in. So we want some shield or protection for us. That is the need of the hours. And why we are celebrating this day on 17th February? Every year, this is the third year, because on this day, a landmark judgment come in Martin D'Souza versus Muhammad Asfaq. By the Supreme Court judgment, they say that no doctor should be arrested against any case, whether the case may be frivolous, false, or maybe any time. And a state level or district level committee should be formed in the district level civil surgeon with the doctor of the same specialty and other members like SMO or whatever it is or from medical college, and they should decide if there is any prima facie or there is any gross negligence or not. On the basis of that, the FIR should be lodged. So they can arrest the doctor. So to commemorate this occasion, I think all branches should know that we have got state medical protection in every year in 26 state and union territory. This is medical legal protection against the doctors and their medical establishment. There is punishment for that. We should give this memorandum to our SSP or IG or DGP in the state of the Punjab that the students should know about that they cannot arrest it. And secondly, that their state laws are also there for protection. And that even in this newer BNS, there are some IPCs, there are some section which we have a defense against. So to know all about this, we have our learned speaker for today, Dr. Satish Tiwari sir. Before that, I request our Secretary of Medical Chapter of IT also.
दे दो, ले लो तो.
Thank you very much.
अच्छा.
We welcome our Secretary, Dr. Hemant. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Namaste and good afternoon to each one and all. And I'm very happy to know that Dr. Gurusaran Singh sir, you have taken this initiative and taking a webinar on this Medical Legal Protection Day to be celebrated tomorrow. Rather than celebration, I know we have a very learned speaker, Professor Tiwari sir, and he will be explaining all the things. The point is, there are Supreme Court guidelines. This is what case law Dr. Satish Sharma said. Martin D'Souza case law. One more case law is there, as well as new BNS is there, and as well as the new things are there. But the issue is we as a doctor are not aware most of the things. So when that anything goes to police station, even peripheral police stations are not aware of this Supreme Court guidelines as well as the judgment and the what does it mean. So our intention is to make all doctors, our regional local police stations aware of this fact, also to display the act, whatever the state prevention violence act is there, to be displayed in our clinical establishment to make the public awareness. So main intention of this day is that we should know all the things which are useful for our protection as well as the awareness amongst all the doctors, for that matter whole of the medical fraternity as well as the public as well as the police local officer. And therefore as an association we should always have a cordial relationship with the police station nearby and cordial relationship with the police also, so establish the rapport with them. I think so all this will be highlighted with by Dr. Satish Tiwari sir. He's an expert, he's our guru, and so we will be looking forward for his lectures, not wasting any time. All the best wishes for this webinar, and I'm sure this will be a successful webinar for the state of Punjab. Thank you, Dr. Gursaran Singh, for inviting, as well as Dr. Satish Sharma to make the part of this webinar. Thank you very much.
We also have our Dr. Paramjit Maan with us. Sir, good afternoon. Dr. Paramjit Maan, sir. I think. Hello, Dr. Paramjit Maan, sir.
Sir, in the meanwhile, we request our other
Dr.
guest of
Randhawa.
honor and co-chairperson, Dr. Locham Singh Randhawa sir,
Dr.
for his words of
Dr.
wisdom.
Randhawa, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. I congratulate each and every member on this virtual platform for observing this very important and essential activity, I would say. And a very simple statement where converse is also true can save you. That is the communication of documentation and documentation of communication. This simple mantra can avoid lot many problems if we strictly follow it. I compliment Gursharan, Seema, and all the members of SAPA to observe this activity and kindly make more members and make other people also aware of this particular branch, which is in its infancy, and Satish Sharma is an able person taking care of this infant at the national level. My best of luck for this present webinar and for the future also. Thank you.
Dr. Seema, Dr. Paramjeet, आ रहे ना सर?
Sir, he joined. Sir ने join था कितना सी, but at present I'm not able to visualize him.
Okay.
Sir, in the meanwhile, we'll start. It's already 2:10.
Yes,
We'll start.
definitely,
Right?
correct.
Yeah. So now I hand over full dais to speaker of the day, Dr. Satish Tiwari, sir, who is LLB and FIP, founder, president of Indian Medical Legal Ethics Association, and editor textbook of Medical Legal Issue, and as well as UG PG examiner, numerous uploads and publication for medico legal chapters under his name. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Seema madam, and thanks SAPA for giving me this opportunity to talk on this important topic, or rather we can say the important aspect of our pediatric practice in the present era. I also thank and welcome our president of the medico legal chapter of IP, that is Dr. Satish Sharma, and Secretary Dr. Hemant Gangulia ji. And of course, I thank the entire executive body member of SAPA and all the delegates who are attending today's webinar. Now, when we say that we are celebrating the Medico Legal Protection Day, the first question that arises, why we should have Medico Legal Protection Day. So I think Dr. Satish Sharma and Dr. Hemant Gangulia have already highlighted the importance of Medico Legal Day. And without wasting much time on the details, we will go ahead with the ABCD. Now, why we say Medico Legal ABCD? Because we are going to discuss some of the very basic things which will protect us from medico-legal problems in our practice. So, because it's a 40-45 minutes talk, I don't think we have a lot of time to discuss the details of any aspect, and that's why I have taken that we will just discuss the main features or main points in protection of our colleagues from medico-legal issues. Now, before we go into the how to protect our colleagues, let us first understand what is the present situation in pediatric practice as far as the medico-legal issues are concerned. These cases, three cases which we are going to discuss, are actual cases going on in the court. So that will indicate how severe the situation is. This first case, a full-term LSES 3.1 kg child who had birth asphyxia. Resuscitative measures were taken and the child survived but had birth asphyxia. So because of that, he developed convulsions, regurgitation, then he aspirated, had septicemia. So for regurgitation, gastrostomy was also done. And the final diagnosis in this case was HIE with GER and grape failure. Now, when the parents went to the court, their allegation was there was deficiency in service and medical negligence, and the compensation asked is 11.45 crores. Now, the first question comes, why so much of compensation asked by the relatives? So this is the breakup of that 11.45 crores. According to parents, they want 7.5 crore for future medical expenses, 1.5 crore to the parents for the loss of professional work and earning, 2 crores to the family for mental harassment, 35 lakh for the present expenses as per their details, 10 lakh for legal and other expenses which included when they went to the hospital or court for parking, the breakfast, lunch and dinner, etc., and any other relief by the court. So this is how patient is going to make the allegation. The another case is a preterm baby, 1.2 kg, who was not only preterm but he had other complications also. According to the doctor, ROP was advised on 4 occasions, including at the time of discharge. Ophthalmic exam was done once. Allegation is that the ROP screening was neither advised nor done, and the final diagnosis was ROP, child is blind, and compensation ask is again 11.96 crores. The breakup of which is the 3 opposite parties should pay 85 lakhs, 10 lakh for medical, travel, and other expenses. 1 crore to the mother will be primary caregiver for the blind child. 3 crore for the future educational expenses in a special school for the blind child. 2 crore for nurse or external medical help at any point. 1 crore for selective devices or equipment. 2 crore other medical expenses for sustaining life. 2 crores for loss of future prospect. 25 lakhs for pain and suffering and agony to the parents, and 1 lakh for cost of litigation. Now, please remember, whatever cases we are going to discuss is not to frighten our colleagues, but just to explain what is the situation in medical practice in the present era. And that is why it is important how we can protect ourselves for our colleagues. The third case is very interesting case, and this is a case of expiry date vaccine was given to the child. There is no damage to the child. Previous 2 cases we have seen the child is birth asphyxiated and neurologically compromised. Second child is blind and he had lifelong handicap again. But in this case, there is no damage to the child. The allegation from the parents is deficiency in service and medical negligence. And again, see the compensation asked. 7,700 for the cost of stop vaccine, that is hexavalent vaccine, which was given to the child. 6 crores for the treatment required over 17 years. And 5 crores for the mental agony and stress, and 1 lakh legal expenses and other relief as the court may feel proper in this particular case. In all these 3 cases, the compensation asked is more than 11 crores. In previous 2, there is a damage, but in the third one, there is no damage. Still, there is allegation of medical negligence. And why I say this is not to frighten, because if you look at the newspaper on this slide, 11 crores are probably not sufficient for the relatives or their advocates. The paper cutting, you can see rupees 50 crore case filed against renowned private hospital and 2 doctors from Kolkata for the child's death due to phone-to-phone treatment. So this is the treatment, this is the situation. If somebody is thinking that we will do the teleconsultation, then please remember all these problems of negligence or allegation of negligence will apply even if you are doing telephonic consultation or email consultation or anything else. So this is the background situation in the community or the society or in our country, and the parents or the relatives or the advocates or the courts, they are not giving any, I can say they are not taking this seriously, that how this excessive compensation will harm the medical practice in long duration. Why I say this? because this is the very important case decided in 2024 by the Supreme Court. Here the Supreme Court, they agree that the profession, which includes legal profession, and if you are not aware of this case was basically where the National Commission has given that the advocates are included under Consumer Protection Act, which was given in 2008 or 9. So the advocates, they went to the Supreme Court that advocates should be removed from the Consumer Protection Act. We all can understand in any legal case, if there is a case in the court of law, there are two parties and there are advocates from the two sides. And in any case, if it is decided, at least one side has to lose. So allegation of negligence can be made against the losing advocate or losing group of advocates in each and every case if the party wants. And that's why, see, the Supreme Court has taken almost 15 years to give the judgment. Now we do not know what was the problem, but in the judgment what Supreme Court says is very important, and Supreme Court has defined what is profession, whether it is a legal or medical profession. According to Supreme Court, it is a skill which is specialized and it needs mental work. So brain also has to work. There are moral principles beyond general duty. Professional association regulates standard of code and conduct. So for advocates, it is Bar Council of India, and for doctors, it is the National Medical Commission. The professionals have high status in the community. This is what Supreme Court is saying. Yes. And according to Supreme Court, success cannot be achieved in each and every case. So Supreme Court understand that each and every case, the outcome may not be positive. There are many factors beyond professional control. Hence, profession cannot be equal or at par with the traders or businessmen. So whether the professional should be included under Consumer Protection Act or not, that was the main issue for discussion in this case. And finally, Supreme Court came out with the decision that advocates are not included under Consumer Protection Act. But when, and Supreme Court also said in this case that IMEA versus VP Shanta decision needs to be revisited by the larger bench of Supreme Court. So they did not give decision whether the doctors are included or not, but they said that definitely you should, the larger bench should look into this judgment and whether to remove the doctors from the Consumer Protection Act or not should be decided by larger bench. After this judgment in favor of advocates, some of our colleagues like Medical Legal Action Group and of course some other doctors who were working on medical legal issues, they went to the Supreme Court that this case should be referred to a larger bench. But Supreme Court at that time refused. Rather, they have fined those associations for putting up a public interest litigation. But fortunately, in last week only, we got this news that Supreme Court seeks responses from government and the National Medical Commission whether to exempt doctors from Consumer Protection Act or not. So we do not know what will happen to this case, what will be response from the government, what will be the response for National Medical Commission. But we can see some ray of hope at the end of the tunnel by this news which has come in the last week also. So let us hope for the best, because if such frivolous cases are not taken care of, the medical practice is going to suffer and ultimately it is community or the society which is going to suffer. So this is what the present situation is. And then if we look at some of the cases decided by the National Commission between 2015 to 2019, about 253 cases were decided, and this was taken as a study by Sanjay Sukumar and published in the Indian Journal of Medical Ethics in 2023, where we can find that the out of the total compensation, about 53% cases, the last line you can see the compensation has been given against the doctors or the hospital. So 50% cases are almost frivolous. And in those cases also, the 53% cases which went against the hospital or doctor, whether they were defended properly or not by proper medical legal consultant and the legal consultant in collaboration or not, that needs details to be evaluated. So that is the situation in the present era. And now we'll see how we can minimize our cases. So as I said, we have less time, so we'll discuss in short, and wherever there are any queries, we can discuss in detail. Maybe if not possible today, subsequently also. The most important carry home message or key message for today's talk is accept the changes in the practice in medicine. So till the Supreme Court judgment comes that doctors are not included under Consumer Protection Act, please remember we are under Consumer Protection Act. So do practice as far as to have a positive defense in the any court of law. Whenever we see the patient, it is very important to take a proper history and proper examination. So always ask whether there is a history of allergy, because we are the modern medicine practitioners. We use various types of drugs, and the community or society has a very bad impression about modern medicine, that they are cause reactions or allergic complications. So please take history, and not only take history, record it or document it, that in any patient whom you have seen, whether there is a past history of allergy or not. While examining, sometimes we may be in a hurry. So if we have examined any patient in hurry for any reason, whatever reason may be there, asked to come for review. Maybe if you are doing in private practice or private setup, asked to come in the evening or come in the next day, or ask your junior to record everything in detail. And of course, if you examine properly, then examine again. And rather than having a diagnosis in each and every case, please have a differential diagnosis. So don't think that I am very senior pediatrician, I know each and every aspect of pediatrics, and if I say this is a case of fever and my diagnosis is enteric fever, don't write only enteric fever. You please write it can be enteric, it can be malaria, it can be viral fever, or whatever history. If it is a long duration history, you should even think of tuberculosis or other chronic diseases. That is about history and examination in each and every patient. A relevant history and examination is very important, and always have a differential diagnosis. Then while managing the patient, behavior with the patient and relatives shall be compassionate and humanly. Be a patient-friendly doctor, be empathetic, and remember that there can be difficult patient in the practice of each and everyone, whether we are young, new generation pediatrician, or whether we are very senior pediatrician, we can always have encounter with a difficult patient. Okay. While starting treatment, please remember we should have a valid and informed consent. Now, what is informed consent? Again, as we said, it can have a whole talk on the informed consent. So we'll not go into detail, but please remember we should have informed consent in each and every case. Whatever consent we have taken, please do not exceed that consent. And if the parents are not willing for any investigation or treatment, record negative consent also. So this is very important for surgeons, especially they take consent for appendicectomy and inside they found something else and then they go on with extra surgery. So that is not allowed by a court of law. Whether it is negligence, whether it is unlawful, that may be decided later. But if you have done surgery extra than the explained to the patient before operation, that may land you in trouble. Maybe that you can defend it in a proper way and then you can be saved from the compensation. But the court case is must if the patient wants. And as we said, document whatever communication you have done. So if you have told the patient that these are the things, these are the information about your disease and treatment, it should be documented and taken, signed at proper place. Once you document everything and once the case paper is ready, please remember documents are the property of the hospital. So it is not the property of the patient, it is your property, and that's why maintaining the confidentiality of that document is the responsibility of the hospital. When we are discharging the patient, your discharge cards will be patient friendly. So just don't write one or two things that the patient was admitted, is now discharged, but you have to write everything in the discharge card, what treatment was given, what treatment is advised, especially in pediatric patient, for how many days breastfeeding should be continued, when you should start immunizing the child. All these things should be informed and documented on the discharge card. If the patient has birth asphyxia, as we have seen in the first case, which we discussed today, you have to write the regular developmental follow-up also. In case of premature, you have to write regular follow-up for ROP. So all these things has to be, proper instructions have to be given and proper follow-up advices have to be given. If it is a case of ROP, then after how many days patient should come or the parent should come, everything has to be advised. Remember the last line regarding the documentation, that if you have maintained the documents properly, then they are your friends in case of court case. And if you are not maintained proper documents, they can become your foes. Now we come to the something about the cases, how they will be decided. So how to protect the case or how to manage the, once there is a case in the court of law, please remember there can be difference or there can be cleavage of opinion in the treatment, and this is known as Boehm's principle. Now to understand this, there is very simple example we'll take. If there is a case of dehydration, you can say early dehydration, you can manage with ORS or we can manage with IV fluids. Now if you are not giving IV fluids and if you are giving ORS, only the relatives cannot go to the court of law that my child was suffering from gastroenteritis and he had been diagnosed as a dehydration, but he was not given IV fluid to correct the dehydration. As a pediatrician or as a doctor, we know the mild dehydration can be corrected even with the ORS. So we'll have to prove in the court of law that in this case there was no need for IV fluid and it could have been managed simply with the ORS. Then another aspect why relatives go to the court is because of the finances or the bills which have been given to them. So whatever will be the charges of our hospital, we have to explain in the beginning. If we are taking advances, we would suggest that every 3 or 4 days you go on taking the advances from that particular patient or the relatives. When we are admitting the children in intensive care unit, whether it is NICU or PICU or cardiac ICU, always we should give guarded prognosis. We should always guarantee for care and not for cure. So always say that we are trying to do our best, we are giving the best possible care, but there can be unfortunate outcome or the patient may deteriorate, as it can happen in cases of viral encephalitis or already well established TBM, where in spite of your proper treatment the outcome may not be satisfactory. And why we say this, guarantee for care and not cure? So we should not claim that we are the best pediatrician in that particular city or in that particular state or in that nation. So don't say that I am the best pediatrician in Punjab or in India and nothing wrong will happen to your child. You have come to the best hospital in India, because all this will increase our responsibility. Once we say this, that I am the best, then the patient will not accept any deficiency on your part or any unfortunate outcome. And to have the proper care or for guarantee for care, we should have properly and adequately trained staff. And please remember, do not hesitate in taking the second opinion whenever required, because individually we perform and collectively we excel. And as said by Dr. Satish Sharma sir, the insurance of hospital and adequate professional indemnity from a reliable company is one of the best defenses if the court cases is there and compensation is sanctioned. So if you have a compensation of 1 crores against you or your hospital, and if you have indemnity of 1 or 2 crores, then I think the compensation will be paid by the insurance company. So please, from today onwards, those of you who do not have professional indemnity, please go for professional indemnity. I would add one word here again. It should be from a reliable company in which you have some known persons or who can help you or guide you in the time of crisis. We are talking about no fault insurance. I will not go into detail, but some of our colleagues, we are talking of no fault insurance, out of court settlement like this. Again, this is a separate topic, we will not go into detail, but we can think of, and the government or court can also think of no fault insurance. We are also talking of compulsory insurance for the medical practice. Now, to tell you in short, if you go and purchase any vehicle, whether it is two-wheeler or four-wheeler, we cannot drive it on the road without a proper insurance policy. So that is what we are suggesting the government, that whenever any hospital is started, whenever any practitioner start practice, there must be compulsory insurance, so that if there is a case of medical negligence, that will be paid by the insurance company. Again, this is not practice in our country at present, but this is our suggestion that a compulsory insurance should be made for any hospital depending upon the number of beds, whether it is individual or multi-speciality, and whether it is corporate hospital. As far as there is no this thing is concerned, there is no government rule, but many corporate hospitals are not employing or not taking any consultant in their on their panel if they do not have professional indemnity. So the corporate hospitals have made professional indemnity must before you join their hospital. Now, as far as the patient management is concerned, please update your knowledge regularly and be a continuing medical educated doctor and not a company medical representative educated doctor. Now, I think the most of our organizations, the IP, the various surgical organizations or the obstetricians organization, even IMEA, they are regularly arranging the CMEs for updating our knowledge. And please do not manage any case, any patient as per the company medical representative advice. Instruments shall be available in our hospital as per the scope and spectrum of our practice. The facilities or treatment claimed are displayed in the brochure or in our flyer shall be available. To give a simple example, suppose you are saying that our hospital is a multidisciplinary hospital, then you should write clearly what cardiac services are available, what renal or nephrology services are available, what endocrinal facilities are available. So that should be clearly displayed. If the patient of cardiology comes, then on time you say that, okay, we manage cardiology. But in the end, if you say we do not have a regular cardiologist, the problem will increase. As far as documents or records are concerned, please do not make any manipulation in the document, because we might think that nobody has seen this document and I can write anything. But in the present era, please remember any patient can take photograph of our case paper at any time. Even after the discharge, they can give some money to the attendant or to the resident and they can get the copy of the document which is manipulated. As I said, do not hesitate in taking second opinion. Rather, whenever we take second opinion and if it is not same as per our own feeling, do not do the medical jousting. Medical jousting means criticizing our own colleagues. So if some patient comes from some other doctor or we refer to some other colleague and then he comes back, don't say that he does not know anything. I understand pediatrics more or I understand the medical practice more than the second another doctor, and whatever he has told you or given is a wrong medicine or the wrong diagnosis, and this is the actual diagnosis or this is the proper treatment. So while doing practice, please remember, please follow the professionalism and ethics. It's very important. And now the government and National Medical Commission are giving a lot of importance on the ethics. The EdCom module has been included in the competency-based medical education. As far as practice, we have said if you are doing individual practice, please prefer to have
Hello,
a
Hanji, good
group
afternoon, ma'am.
practice, and as far as possible have multidisciplinary approach.
Hanji,
And
Hanji.
of course, it's very important to record the
Ultrasound
deficiency, negligence on part of
simulator
patient or relatives. So if you have given any
still left
advice,
today. Hanji,
they
Hanji.
do not follow that advice, they are not willing for any investigation,
One
they are
सीरियस
not
तो नहीं
bringing
मैं
the
देख लूंगी, मैंने
medicines or
कॉस्ट देखे.
injection,
हाँ
they
जी,
are
हाँ जी,
not
हाँ
giving
जी.
consent. So we already
Roughly, हाँ
discussed the
जी, हाँ जी.
negative consent should be recorded. So also record if the
Oh, very good,
patients
ma'am.
are not doing any investigation. You have said that patients should be kept nil orally and they have given feeding to the child.
हाँ,
All this will be protecting us in the long
ठीक है, हाँ
term.
जी.
Of course, we have to avoid unnecessary
चार
investigations
चार
like
चार पंच सीखे मैम,
MRI
चार पंच
or
सीखे. सी 9
CT
है पूरे,
scan
फिर
where
चार
it
पंच
is
सीखे.
not genuinely indicated,
हाँ जी मैम.
because it will
और
cause
2 AP
allegation
डाल दी.
again of extracting money
हाँ
from
जी,
the
हाँ जी.
patient for
हाँ जी,
unwanted
हाँ जी
investigation.
दी.
And in the present era,
सारे
again,
तो नहीं,
please be aware of
मेरे को तो
the
नहीं लगता कि सारे,
Google
क्योंकि हम बहुत
doctors,
कुछ खरीदते रहते
because
हैं मैम, मुझे याद ही नहीं आ रहा कि
many
कब कौन सी, पर
patients
मेरे
they
ख्याल से
read
5
from
या
the
फिर ज्यादा
Google
होंगे, सारी
and
नहीं,
they decide
सारी की
their
सारी डालना तो
own
बेवकूफी है मैम,
thinking
कैसे डाल सकते
that this treatment should be given, this investigation should
5
be
या
done
6
by the
पाल दो,
doctor
ओके
or
ओके,
the
हाँ हाँ,
hospital. And if we do not follow their
हाँ जी बिल्कुल
thinking,
बिल्कुल,
then they will feel that doctor is
ठीक है
not
ठीक है, हाँ
doing
जी,
which is as per the
ओके।
recommendation. As far as the services are available, as we said, if you are not giving 24 hours emergency services, or if you are not willing for 24-hour emergency services, especially in the night hours, please avoid displaying that 24-hour emergency services are available in our hospital in your the glow sign board or on the your letterhead. Please do not write 24-hour emergency services available. Very basic thing again, avoid cross-pathy and cross-speciality. As far as we are concerned, the pediatricians, many times will write leave 52 for neonatal jaundice, or we write septilin for chronic infections which some of the children may be suffering, chronic or recurrent infections. Please avoid cross-pathy, do not do the cross-speciality, and in the end, I think it is very important to have a clear conscience for sound sleep. Follow the morality and rules of the law of the land and the recommendations by the National Medical Commission or the government. Have a positive attitude. As I said, that we should not be worried that there are cases of 11 crore. So I will stop practice. Don't get frightened. We are there to support you in the hours of crisis. But at the same time, we will suggest that do self introspection, have self regulation, and avoid the unethical practice or unlawful practice. Especially in the present era, again, I think there is a lot of problem about the POXO cases. So please inform the proper authorities at time and have a positive attitude. We have to do a lot of soul searching ourselves whether we are doing right thing or not, because we are a qualified pediatricians and doctors. So many times we use the infant milk substitute, so powder milk. We have to be careful about IMS Act whether it is really indicated or not. Please maintain your zeal and enthusiasm. And in the end, we would like to remember all of you. You all know the from Punjab, most of us are in today's webinar are Punjab. Hani lav Jeevan Maran Jas Up Jas Vidhyat. So that is loss and gain, life and death, fame and defame, even as a doctor, is in the hands of destiny. So do not forget this. And it is rightly said by someone that doctor's treatment work in patients who are destined to live. So please do your best, guarantee for the care and not cure, give the guarded prognosis, and of course, if there is something untoward, how to defend this, we are always there to guide us. So consider every patient as a potential litigant, but again I would highlight, do not get frightened. Install CCTV coverage in hospital entrances and waiting areas, especially to avoid allegation that I was waiting in the waiting room for 2 hours and 3 hours and doctor has not seen my child though he was sick. So we can have the timing recorded in the CCTV when the patient came and when the patient was seen. Then of course, if there is any violence in the hospital, the CCTV coverage will give the positive uh, defense. Have a crisis management committee for tackling any unwanted crisis or situation in our hospital. As Dr. Hemant Ganguly has said, do not hesitate in informing police If you suspect any foul play, violence by the relatives, in cases of unexplained death or difficult situation, we have Medicare Protection Act in almost 20 to 25 states of our country. We can display that in our OPD or in the hospital, that such laws are there in the state for aggressive patients. Of course, if there is a court case, do not respect the court case or the legal procedures. Follow the rules of the law and the land and country. Unfortunately, if there is any case against us, please take the help of medical legal consultant. And we all know we have a group of medical legal consultants in our medical legal chapter of IP. So all of us are there to guide and help you in the hours of crisis. It's always better to be safe rather than be sorry. And we will again suggest join the medical legal chapter or association subject to various and specific subjects or the groups. So we have medical legal chapter of IAP, and we have medical legal and ethics association, which is a separate association which is working for all the doctors. So it includes surgeons, obstetrician, ENT, ophthalm, everybody. So you can join those associations or the groups. And through this, we are all doing all this, our guidance and expertise. This is our Journal of Medical Legal and Ethics Association. You can send topic for this, chapters and article. And of course, these are our books, so we can go through this. And once again, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I hope you have enjoyed today's talk. I also hope I have not exceeded my time, and whatever queries are there, we can go for those question and answers. Thank you again, Dr. Gurusharan Singh and the entire team of SAPA.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful insight of medical legal protection and how to go ahead if anything goes wrong. We have a question from Associate Professor Forensic from Guru Gobind Singh Medical College, Faridkot, Dr. Ishwar Tayal. If FIR registered against any pediatrician by police without being declared negligent by any inquiry committee, what is the remedy? I think when we started the talk, you said that we should make a committee and they decide whether he's negligent, and then we should proceed for case filing. But suppose the doctor is already by media or the parent's relative on Facebook and instead declared that he is negligent. How to move? Go ahead for that.
Yes, as far as the media or cyber defamation you are saying, I think there are rules which are there to protect us. But as we see in our country, it's a democratic country and there are laws, and those laws are there, but how much the authorities implement those laws and how much we can take help of those laws is a very doubtful process. We have seen that case where the Supreme Court has said, okay, advocates are removed from Consumer Protection Act, but the doctors are not removed. They have asked another case for that. So similarly, if we go against something is written in the media or some cyber defamation is there, and if you try to go against that in the court of law, we do not know how much time it will take, how we will prove it, so all that. So though there is a law, we can go against that cyber defamation, but I don't think, or I will not advise our colleagues to go for that. As far as FIR is concerned, once the FIR is fired against the doctor, there are Supreme Court judgment which Dr. Hemant Ganguly and Dr. Satish Sharma sir were saying that according to the Supreme Court guidelines, if there is any FIR against the doctor, especially about the criminal negligence, it is a duty of the police to appoint a appointments, they can request the civil surgeon or the dean of the medical college that you appoint a expert committee. That expert committee should give their opinion whether there is negligence in this case or not, and then only police should go ahead with the action on that FIR. So it is the as per the rule. If they follow the rule, everyone, then there should go according to the expert opinion or the report. But unfortunately, again, as I said, there are various excuses given by the police or the authorities that there was possibility of violence and there was possibility to attack on the doctor, and that's why to prevent that we have taken the action of arresting the doctor. So I think it is a wrong thing, but they can defend it. So I think at somewhere we have to, if there is some FIR, we can go for the pre-arrest this procedure also. So we can go for the bail. We should always take a anticipatory bail if we feel that police may take some unwanted action. So we have the option of anticipatory bail. We can ask for the expert committee's report also, and then of course if it is in the court of law, then we defend the case scientifically. So these are various ways how we can defend the cases.
Thank you, sir. So now I request for Dr. Shashikant Dhir sir is asking, please guide if the pediatrician would be legally liable for not caring trauma patient if they come to our hospital. Like pediatrician, we are physician basically. So MCH, like in our building, also all patients will head injury, roadside accident, they come directly to us. So if
Yeah.
something goes wrong before the neurosurgeon or surgeon comes to MCH,
Yeah.
what to do in the main in
Now,
those
what
cases?
Dr. Dheeraj asked, I think there are 2 points. What he wants to ask if the patient is pediatrician and if the patient is adult. Now, in both the situation, if a patient of trauma is there, basically it comes under, as Seema Madam has rightly said, it comes under pediatric surgery or neurosurgery. So it is not our case, and we should not manage that patient for the complete period. In such cases, what is our responsibility as a pediatrician? We should give emergency care. Like means if it is a child who has come with the head trauma, he is convulsing, he is vomiting. So please take care of that convulsion. We can give anticonvulsant. If there is lot of bleeding and if the patient is in shock, try to give IV fluid and vaso pressures, and then stabilize the patient and refer him as early as possible to the neurosurgeon or pediatric surgeon. But you cannot refuse that I am not a neurosurgeon, so I will not see this patient. You have to see the patient, you have to stabilize the patient, give the emergency care if it is required. And if the emergency care is not required, as I said, if the patient is not convulsing, if the patient is not in shock, then you can examine the patient, tell them that this is a case of the head trauma or the brain damage, and I am not expert in that field, so please go to the neurosurgeon. As far as adult is concerned, again, I think the same principle apply. We are not adult physician, or we cannot manage adult physician as a pediatrician. Though we are all MBBS, many of our colleagues will say we are MBBS. So as a MBBS also, and after that doing pediatric, MD pediatric, my suggestion would be that even if the patient is adult, if he is some acute emergency need, like if the heart has stopped, so we can give the emergency resuscitative measures. If there are convulsions, we can give anticonvulsant. If he is not, the BP is not recordable, put a IV line and then refer the patient to the proper center. Now, many times our colleague asks that if we are doing all this, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes, putting a IV line, giving IV injection. And if the patient dies in that 30 minutes, then the relatives may create violence that he died because you have made a delayed referral. So this allegation is going to come, but if this allegation comes and if you are doing the emergency management for stabilizing the patient, the courts will agree that this was done for stabilizing the patient and this was not delaying the treatment. So that can be defended in the court of law.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful addressing all the queries. Now I request Chairperson Punjab Medical Legal Chapter, Dr. Paramjit Man, sir, if he's there, please share your opinion and words of wisdom, please, sir. Dr. Man, sir, is he around? No. Okay. Now over to GS Naran, sir.
Dr. Dhava is here. Dhava sir, kindly give some wisdom, words of wisdom.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible and visible, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Satish Tiwari, for extensive and elaborate with different type of cases.
Thank you,
I think
Randhava sir.
day in, day out, we come across these cases through mouth-to-mouth surveys, through WhatsApp groups, as well as the print and electronic media. But the only thing important, I think, for all of us is that we should be aware of what the law of land is, to what our potential and capability is, and our limitations. That part is very, very important. So depending upon our qualification, whatsoever we are supposed to do, we should do, and we should document properly in the language which is uh, properly understood by the parents or the caregivers as far as children are concerned, because till certain age they are not able to give consent. Luckily, I consider pediatricians to be lucky in this particular field, because litigations, if we go by the demographic profile, they are on the lowest possible side. And we have a very cordial and family type of relation with most of our patients, because our connect is very, very long. It's in years. While, say, for trauma and other fields, it's only instant connection with the patient. So our is a very, very long term, and with the passage of time, we who are into practice for many, many years now, we are seeing children. We saw now they bring their own children. So that helps us and that saves us also. Thank you very much.
Sir, we have another
Dr.
question from Dr. Anmol Man,
Dr.
sir.
Monica, ma'am.
Sir,
Seema, Dr. Monica is also there. Ji.
yeah, let us address one query then.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, Dr. Anmol Bansal, he's assistant professor at our medical college. Is it wise to take indemnity insurance? How much effective these insurance companies are actually at the time of facing medical legal cases?
Madam, I have not understood. Is it wise to take indemnity?
Insurance, and how much these
Uh,
insurance companies are actually in real life effective if you are facing a medical legal cases?
No, that is what, because we are short of time, I said we have to take from a reliable company. And what are their charges? We have to look into everything, because now in market there may be more than 20 to 25 companies who are giving medical legal indemnity services. And the charges vary for 1 crore. For 1 crore, it will vary from 2,500 to maybe 5,000 or 7,000, under the pretext that we not only give you indemnity, we are giving you other services also. Like if there is any criminal case, we'll take care of that. If your PAN card is not made, we'll give the services of making the PAN card. Or if there is some letter from the corporation or the water supply department, we'll write reply to all that. And our service charges are 7,500, and actual charges for indemnity they will do for 2500. So this is how their breakup is. So that's why I said we should take from some company which is reliable, where we know someone, and amount of indemnity, how much we should take. Now, at a district place, which are the smaller districts in our country, we suggest around 1 crore. But in metro cities like the Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, we suggest 2 to 3 crores. And of course, depending upon whether we are doing super specialty or the only pediatric general pediatric practice, the amount of indemnity we suggest will change. But as we have shown you the case, all those three cases, one is from Mumbai, where it is 11 crore, and the other two cases are from smaller cities, from Madhya Pradesh. So the patient's allegation can be anything, but court will not sanction that much amount. So though they have asked for 11 crores, the court may sanction 1 or 2 crore. This is another reason why they are asking more compensation. They feel the opposition advocate feel that if we ask for 11 crore, court may give 1 to 2 crores. But if you ask for 1 to 2 crore, court will sanction only 20 lakhs or 50 lakhs. So that is why there is exaggerated claim, and it is very difficult how much the patient will ask. We have seen the Kolkata case, that is they have asked for 50 crores. So there is no limitation on patient asking or the relatives asking. But as a medical legal consultant, will suggest the smaller cities or smaller districts 1 crore, and metropolitan cities like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore 2 to 3 crores. That is our suggestion.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, sorry, sir, you were saying something. Actually, I was reading the question. Over to you, sir.
I think I was saying Dr. Monica, our central IAP EB member, is also there, I think.
Okay.
Ji,
Yeah.
Dr.
Yes,
Monica.
thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my gratitude actually to Dr. Tiwari for talking about such an important topic. We have been practicing, I mean, I started practicing in a government hospital and we never thought about the possibility of having lawsuits against us. But times have changed, and sometimes we read news and we think about how did people ask for so many crores. So it is important for us as doctors to understand how this figure comes around and how we are held liable, and we need to know both sides of the story so that we can prepare ourselves better. I think it was a very good idea to have this topic, and it is very relevant for actually for a lot of people, not just people like me sitting in a medical college. I am probably lucky enough to be working in a college which has a legal cell. We have lawyers working within the institute, and we have our institute agreeing to give us the umbrella of cover. We have had some lawsuits against us, and I know that our hospital supported the doctors, but I'm sure it would be a nightmare for a private practitioner if there were a lawsuit against them. So I think this is a good starting point where we have understood a lot of things. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Sapa, for having this session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you so much. I request any other participant, they can directly open the camera and ask the question or put in the chat box, because we have eminent national faculty who is the founder of Medical Association, IIP, and vast experience in the field of medical legal aspects, because we as pediatricians somehow untouched by the complication, but scenario has been changing recently. So anyone, they can open the camera and ask or put in the chat box. Thank you, sir. It was, I think, the first or second time I'm hearing a medical legal protection day celebration and such a nice lecture and deep.
Thank you everyone again. Thanks for giving this opportunity.
So there are no more questions, sir, in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
So
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
okay, so we'll meet again sometimes if you people want, I am always available 24/7. So thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
we
Thank
have
you,
our
sir.
chapter, so we'll have soon the physical CMA
Yes.
workshop, most probably.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining the word Medical Legal Protection Day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mhm.